This episode is brought to you by the fabulous members of the You Run Podcast Network, all available at yourunpodcast.com.
I was wondering when you were finally going to show.
You want to die tonight?
The dad jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. The passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Marc's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. But that, to do one podcast.
Oh, you didn't know? Your ass better call somebody!
Oh, it's Easter weekend for you, isn't it?
Yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend. WrestleMania weekend. When this episode comes out, WrestleMania weekend just happened. But yeah, it's WrestleMania weekend. Not Easter this weekend, WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, man, I saw your post the other day. How excited are you?
Not as excited as Jack. Jack is like pinging off the fucking walls. He's like, and it's we get to watch it on Saturday and we get to watch it on Sunday. It's like, we also get to watch it on Friday and we get to watch it on Friday. Like, he's proper hyped.
It's on Netflix now.
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Do you have to pay per view it still?
No,
because you've got a Netflix subscription. That's cool.
Yeah,
that is cool. Is it still cool people in it now, or is it like new generation wrestlers? Have you got Stone Cold? Have you got The Rock? Have you got John Cena?
John Cena's fighting in the main event of night 2. The Rock will be there. Stone Cold will probably be there. So yeah, all the ones that we grew up with still rock up regularly. And I'm like, every time they do, Jack's like, "Who's that guy?" What do you mean, who's that guy?
In that knobhead Logan Paul there now as well?
Yes, he is. He is. Anyway, we are going way off that, or we've not even started yet. Hello.
You started it.
Hello and welcome to You Run Podcast Horror Movie Review. My name is Scott.
My name is Mark.
And this is the most interactive show you will find, covering horror movies on all of the World Wide Web. Every Monday, we review a horror movie chosen by you on Instagram. It's at You Run Podcast to get in for the next film choice. We start off by giving you a short, sweet summary of the movie, followed by a deeper review looking at what we liked, what we didn't like. We then have some facts, some interactive features, a game. From time to time, we get voicemails and we play those on the air as well. Again, if you want to get involved, it's at You Run Podcast on Instagram or X, or send us an audio DM, and in a blink of an eye, you will hear your voice on this very show. We have had a very slight format shuffle that I've not told Mark about to get into things a little bit quicker. So a lot of stuff we talk about now, normally, we'll talk about later. So we're on ones we missed. And my God, I fucking wish we'd missed this. And I have a message to all of the listeners who voted this in.
I hate you guys. You guys are assholes. Especially Kenny.
Mark.
I hate him the most.
I don't know what your beef is, man. This is a great movie.
Imagine waking up after a years long nap to realize someone had stolen your most prized possession, which in this case happens to be a necklace. Of course you'd be upset. So upset, in fact, you would walk to the ends of the earth to bring vengeance on those people. That being said, it's blistering heat. You need something to protect you from the sun. I'm sure a musty old 1920s fireman mask is just the thing you need. Also, you never know. You may encounter a peaceful yoga practicer or a fat, overweight teen smoking pot. So you better get those rusty, fucked old knackered weapons while you're there as well. I'm sure you could tell my enthusiasm is at an all-time peak as we look at the Jason Voorhees wannabe, Johnny, in his first and fucking hopefully only outing from 2024, the movie In a Violent Nature.
This is already getting a sequel. You do know that, don't you?
I just don't even know how. Honestly, I watched this when it first came out and I hated it. and I run straight to YouTube, and I basically went, "This is fucking garbage. Why are you all saying this is great?" And then
Yeah, because you even reached out to me because I don't really watch new movies, and I knew this would come out. I'd heard all the gossip, and you even reached out to me. It was like, dude, watch this and back me up on this film. Everyone's going mad for it. I think it's shit, and I did not respond in the way you wanted me to.
honestly, you really didn't. And the thing is, like, film is one of those things that your mood affects it, like what sort of day you've had, what atmosphere you're watching it in. So I went into this going, I hated it first time, but I'm nice and chilled. I'm all alone. Like there's no kids here, like no kids like banging upstairs, like Lisa's out, night to myself. I've got some beers. I'm going to give it a fair crack. I
Yep.
must have lasted about 6 minutes before I started scribbling down my cocaine bear level destruction of this movie.
Oh man, that is disappointing, dude. I was kind of hoping on a rewatch you might have seen something different in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to hate on this all the way through. Spoilers. I am literally going to trash pretty much everything. But for those of you who do like it, Mr. Ron Jeremy Tash himself is here to fight your corner and defend. I don't know how you can, but he's going to defend this movie and its honor.
Defend I shall.
Yeah. Beginning of this movie is very much a normal sort of Jason Voorhees, Michael Myers, Freddy slasher sequel opening. It's Johnny
Yeah.
gets broken up, so the kids are fucking around, and there's the necklace hanging on the thing, and they pull it out of the ground, and you get no sort of build into what this is or what's going on. And the next thing you see, there's a hand pops out of the ground, and he's up. Then we get walking. So much walking in this movie. It is excessive, and it's not needed. The amount that we get.
Right, I'm not gonna argue with you on that. I do feel like it is overplayed and overused, but I do like it. I do like it. I don't hate it. I think there is overused moments of it throughout the film. I think there is sections of it where it's introduced that breaks up from the tension and the momentum of the movie, and I understand why they do it because of the way they're trying to convey the film. But I find it really relaxing, these moments. Do you know, like when I'm watching this film and I'm sat there and I'm just zoned out, switched off from the world, there's a noise of the forest and the birds, and this dude just traveling from point A to point B. You got to remember, I'm from a generation that played like 17 weeks of Red Dead Redemption. I'm used to this level of fucking travel time.
The thing is that I like the first couple of shots we get. I think great over the killer's shoulder, him trudging through the forest. I think that's wonderful. But then where they don't have enough content to fill the full hour and 30 minutes, we get almost 12 minutes of him walking, just the sound of the forest, and he's not even. So there's moments in this movie where he sneaks up on people and he catches them by surprise, and I don't get it because he sounds like this.
Yeah.
That's how
the biggest culprit for that moment is when he sets a car alarm off.
Yeah.
Goes back to pick up his axe and he's walking back. The guy turns off the car alarm and there's an elephant, literally an elephant walking behind him. And he doesn't hear anything. And I'm like, come on, dude. You deserve to die for that.
And I'm going to say, like, sound design for this movie, I really didn't like. So you get the first bit of the sound design that I saw that I don't like this is when he's walking up to the house at the beginning and he is fucking quarter of a mile away. And because you follow the killer, they have to give you the audio of the other people, but they don't do it like it's a distant audio or he's listening in. It's like they're stood next to him. Like all the voices when he's hidden away are so loud. It's like, it feels so unauthentic.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they do. I mean, they do at least try and slowly build it in, and conversations do start halfway through to us as an audience who's listening in. It's not like he just walks in at the appropriate time. There is moments where you catch the back end of a conversation between certain characters. I do know what you're saying. I do feel it could have been handled better, but I'm going to get it out of the way now and say that I feel like there's a lot about this movie that could have been handled better.
All of
They
it.
sold it on being a POV aspect from a killer's point of view.
It's
but
not.
they don't stick true to the formula throughout. They bounce in and out of it, which again brings us back to the point you were saying, so much walking. There are so many moments in this movie where they're trying to say this is a POV killer's perspective, but then they flip from the killer's perspective in order to showcase a conversation between characters of vital information that we as an audience need to know, especially at the ending as well, at the ending where they then switch and start following the final girl. And I just feel like if you're going to fulfill a formula like this, you have to stick to it and you have to commit to it, like they do in Maniac with the Elijah Wood version.
Yeah.
That is a prime example of, because everyone's like, oh yes, this is the first movie that's ever done it. No, it's not. Maniac did it, and Maniac did it a million times better than this movie could ever try to do, in my opinion. And that is one of the biggest gripes I do have, is that it's not true to its experimental nature, in my opinion. I feel like they wanted to commit to it, but they didn't know how to introduce certain aspects of plot progression without breaking the formula. And for me, it's just weak.
Yeah.
It's weak in terms of movie making, in my opinion.
We'll get to the plot a little bit more later, but the plot development of this is atrocious. It's man walk, man kill, man walk again, man kill again. And you've got a handful of people that I don't give a flying fuck around about, like floating in the middle. I'm going to break
again. That's it. Like that suffers. The characters suffer.
I need to stop you. I'm going to break a fourth wall here. Lisa just walked through to let the dog out, and when she let the dog out, she stood next to me and flashed me.
Nice.
So I have completely lost my train of thought. I don't know where I was going with this episode. Where were we?
Don't keep it all to yourself. Turn the camera so we can all see it.
I don't think she'd appreciate that. She's gone now. He gets to
but again, like you were saying, that's the whole problem with the characters themselves. Like, there's no investability in them. And as a slasher film, as important as the iconic killer is himself, there's no stakes at play here because we don't care about anybody he's after.
No, none of them at all. Like the first kill, for example, like he goes into this house, he's looking for the necklace, and I don't get it. With like, he's looking for this necklace, this is his prized possession, and he picks up the wrong necklace and stares at it for ages before he realizes, like, if this is your prized possession and it's the thing that you covet so much you've come back from the dead to get it, how can he pick it up and go, oh no, is it? It might be. I'm not sure. Like, it pissed me off. It's like, if this is your thing and you want this necklace so bad, like instantly at a glance you go, that's not my necklace. That's some cheesy medallion that like Ron Jeremy would wear. I don't need that, and leave.
Yeah, but I'm assuming this was at one point his house, and that's where the necklace would have been usually hung up, because that's when we get the flashback sequence in the mirror of it being saying that it's his mother's necklace and all the rest of it, and his father handed it down to him.
Yeah.
So I get it. I get what they were trying to convey there, but you are right. Yes, if it's strong enough to bring you out of the ground and back from the dead, and you have literally a beacon sort of Apple iPad tag trigger thing that can follow it around the forest, you would think immediately you would know. Again, that's the problem with this movie. There is elements to it that are done lazily, and that is one of them for the purpose of showcasing the audience he has the obsession with the necklace. That's the only reason that was there. But for people like us who watch horror movies every single day and criticize movies and pull them apart, weak elements like that come straight to the forefront.
Yeah, they really do.
Check out this necklace! Each bead represents a life I've ended. But wait, there's more! They glitter with the tears of their loved ones!
We do meet some teens, so we get we don't even see the first kill, so I'm just going to skim over it. Like, you see him, like the bloke comes out and tries to shoot him, he attacks him and then drags him off, and then you don't really get a shot of that until he walks past, so you can see he's kind of missing his head.
See the aftermath afterwards, which is cool.
Yeah.
I mean, the effects on that are incredible. I think the effects throughout are pretty incredible, to be honest with you.
The effects on this one really, really good. The effects on the yoga kill really, really good. I do have some real issues with the wood chopper scene.
That's my favorite. That's my favorite. We'll save it till we get to it then, because that is my favorite in the movie.
We meet a group of teens, and they're all sat around a campfire, and it's very, are you afraid of the dark? And they're telling the story of Johnny, and we get this big expedition dump. And great. This works for me. What doesn't work for me is the director's fucking decision to continuously spin the camera around the camp. My God, like it's not slow and steady, like moving from person to person. It's just literally going wee, wee.
Heavy on the sound bites tonight, aren't we?
I'm getting them all out of the way now because I've got like this first bit is when I'm really invested, and then I'm going to lose interest in about 5 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you're saying though. It's almost as if he's sat on a roundabout in the middle of his campfire just filming on an office chair. And it is frustrating. But again, that's the thing, like the whole cinematography from that scene is the first instance where it pulls away from the POV, and you're like, what's going on here? Why are we not seeing it from his perspective, which we have been doing up until this point? And it's like, for me, I would have preferred them to intertwine the two. Not even that. It's not even that. I would have preferred them to just break. Do you know what I mean? It would have then cut away from quite a lot of those heavy walking scenes where we could have flashed between two perspectives. Yeah. You know, if you want to do it from a killer's perspective, keep it shot the way you have been throughout with Johnny all the way through. But then those moments of character development, switch to normal filming techniques, you know, and break. Give us a break and a breather in between, and then pan back to him. Instead of watching him walk from scene to scene, you can then break from scene to scene and then come back to him once he reaches that destination. And I feel like that would have worked so much better for this movie.
Yeah, either that or, as you said earlier, fully commit to it. So when he's watching these teens, we can get all of this exposition, but show me it from in the bushes and wrap it up a bit quicker, because this scene's about 9 minutes long, where they're like, and then he went up to the tower and then he fell down and then he died and they pushed him. It's like, oh, fuck, I don't need this much. Like, for a basic slasher, and this is as basic as you can get. Yeah, I don't need this big, deep, intricate plot of why he's come back and why he's picks the mask he particularly picks. Like, I don't give a fuck. Like, maybe he's disfigured, he picks a mask. That's all I need. I don't need, and he put the mask on and he was up there playing and they threw. I don't care. Like, I genuinely do not care. Maybe that's
the campfire tale could have been told in a much sweeter, neater package. I feel I lost interest in it, to be honest with you. Even on a rewatch, I didn't pick up on most of it the first time I watched this movie, and I certainly didn't pick up on a whole lot of it this time around, because, as you say, it's long, it's drawn out, and the guy who's telling the story is boring as fuck.
There is one character in this that I wouldn't say I identified with him, but one character that I latched onto, and like, I quite like you. You're the goofy stoner guy, and they killed him first, which instantly pissed me off. Like, he's the I don't know, he's the stereotypical slightly overweight pot smoking guy who's clearly not going to get the girl. Like, I liked him, and he's like,
he's all right, but again, you don't spend enough time with any of them to care. That's the problem. I do like the kill though. I like the kill. It's a nice Friday the 13th 2 homage. I think it's the second one where they kill
Crazy Ralph.
Crazy Ralph, that's it. It's a copy of Crazy Ralph kill, but again, quite a lot of the kills in this are copies. Even the closing credits of this, where they pan from scene to scene, is very much a Halloween homage from the first Halloween movie, where they do that at the end, where they visit all of Michael Myers' kill locations. Can't criticize this movie too heavily for that, because it's been repeated a million times since Halloween has come out. But I mean, these people who have made this movie are clearly horror fans, and they're clearly slasher fans, because most of the kills are either homages or straight up rip-offs, however you want to describe it. But the way they chose to have Johnny as such a Jason-esque character, almost slow walking like Michael Myers, it's clear that they have an admiration for the subgenre. And I applaud them for trying to break the mold and do something different. I just don't think they executed it as well as they thought they did, in order for them to advertise it and brand it as such a unique POV style horror movie, because that's not what it was, in my opinion.
No, and like the kill's cool. It is definitely a copycat of Crazy Ralph, but I can get by that. And the effects here look okay as well. What confused me is after he's decapitated him.
I've never known a Walkman with a speaker, if that's where you're going.
Well, no, I was going the other way where he just like holds his head in one hand and his body in the other and walks into the forest. Why? Why are you taking the body with you? I don't understand.
Yeah, but all slashers do that. All of them move bodies and hide bodies so the others don't see them.
But he
Michael
doesn't
Myers is
hide
a
it.
pro at it.
But he doesn't hide it or do anything with it. He just walks for fucking quarter of a mile, dragging it, and then just drops it. It's like, what the fuck?
Well,
is
I
he
mean, he
doing?
needed the body to break the glass to get the mask.
He did not need a body to
He
do
certainly
that.
didn't need to, but no. But yeah, did you notice when he decapitated his head? He had like a 80s, 90s Walkman with a string headphone. It cut the wire, and then the music played loud out of his headphone. I was like, that is not how a Walkman works.
The people who made this film clearly don't know how Walkman operated.
No, they don't.
So he drags him to the is it the ranger station? I think it's the ranger
No, this is a
station.
firehouse.
It's the
It's
firehouse.
a fireman mask, and it's an old
Um,
wartime fireman mask, isn't it?
Yeah. What do you think of the look? Because I personally think he looks like a bee or an anteater or an angry beekeeper. Like the mask just does not do it for me at all.
I personally think he looks fantastic. I think the character design of Johnny himself is incredible, really. I feel like that's one thing about slasher movies today. I don't feel like they are as creative enough. I think Art the Clown is probably the best we've seen in generations, and there's a reason
Yeah.
why he's as popular as he is, because people latch on to individuality with slasher icons. You know, there's reasons why people like Ghostface, Myers, Candyman, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're iconic because of their identifiable look. And I feel like Johnny is one of those slasher icons who could I don't know where they're going to take this franchise. I don't know what they're going to do with the sequels, but I feel like if they do learn from the mistakes of this movie and build upon his character, I feel like he's quite an intimidating presence. I know he's heavily based on Jason Voorhees, especially when you see him demasked later on when he's playing with the toy car. It's like,
Yeah.
fucking hell, this could have been a Friday the 13th sequel if you put a hockey mask on him. But I think overall, I do like the look. I like the choice of weapons. I like the axe and the fireman hook and grapple thing. That's really, really cool. So I think they get a lot of it right in terms of the actual character himself.
Yeah, the hook I think is cool. The axe is an axe hatchet, done it better in my opinion. But yeah, the hooks are unique. It's very Scorpion from Mortal Kombat, and at no point does he use it like that. And I was a little bit disappointed. I wanted there to be someone running and him just launch the hook like over their shoulder and fucking yank him back, and they didn't do it. And I was a bit like, oh, come on, it was right there. Like you had the hook, you had the chain, like someone's running away, just hook over the shoulder.
Under the chin.
Yeah, and yank them back. Yeah, but they didn't do it. The problem I've got with this movie is, for me, horror movies are built on the characters that we follow, and that I identify with them, and then I fear for them when the baddies come in, because the way this is shot. Like the scene we get next is the two girls at the lake, that he drowns one and then he follows the other one up the hill. But I actually laughed out loud as you see these two girls talking. She's like, oh, if you want some, you can come up to the ridge when you finish swimming. And you see him look at the log where he's got his axe. You see him look at the hook in his hand and then make a choice of what weapon to use. And it just took all the tension of the kill away, because like, well, he's going to kill that person with that weapon because that's the weapon he's chose. And then he didn't use either, and he just drowned her. I was like, oh, like the drowning kill is so underwhelming. Just stay.
It is, but he does take the hook from then the drowning kill to kill the yoga girl, then come back again and get the axe to continue on with his journey. So he did have. He was like, I'll kill this bitch in the ocean, well, in the lake. I'll drown her, and then I'll get out and I'll go kill the other one with the hook. And then he comes back for his axe. So he does fulfill the decision-making part of the process, in a sense.
Yeah, he does. It's just like these characters. The biggest problem is these characters don't mean anything. Like the girl in the lake that he drowns means absolutely nothing. The only character who gets any decent amount of screen time really is this yoga girl. And you see her do half her routine as Johnny's fucking stomping up behind her. And the kill here is inventive. But
she fucking deserved it, man. I'm not being funny, but I've rolled down bigger hills than what she was afraid to jump off. You know, she runs to the edge of what is supposed to be a cliff, and it's not. It's like a hill. It is a hill. She could have carried on running down that thing, probably wouldn't have gained enough momentum to even fall over, and made it away to safety. But she just stands there and accepts her fate. You literally see the look on her face as if to say, "Oh shit."
Yeah, I'm dead. And I don't think the practical effects are as good as everyone says they are. I
disagree, man. I'm the practical effects guy. I'm the guy to come to on this, and I'm telling you, this shit is fucking awesome.
You put this up against any of the kills from the Terrifier franchise, and this looks budget.
No, this looks better. This looks more realistic. Terrifier is great, but you can tell it's a Terrifier movie because it's very rubberized. The skin textures are very rubberized. You can tell it is an effect. I don't think you can in this movie. I don't think you can. I think the only time it does suffer from the rubberized effect is when you get the demasking of Johnny and the fact that his hands always look like latex gloves throughout. It's a bit like the whole thing we had with the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey movie where he's wearing marigolds. Every time you see his hand on screen, it's like, I know you're wearing a glove. You're just wearing a bloodied up glove and it's distracting. And especially when they demask him later on, I'm like, it's cool, it looks good, but it doesn't look as good as everything else that this movie's presented so far. And I think the practical effects are on point. There is a few issues that I have with CGI, the rock kill being one of them. That's really poor CGI. And again, even though it's my favorite kill, the log splitter, the actual head itself exploding, is poor. And I'm criticizing the rock kill, which we'll get to, but I like the transition in between the two. You don't notice the edit, which I think is really clever. You just notice the poor CGI aftermath, which is a shame because that is a really cool use of filming. It's just overlaid with crap graphics, and it's a shame because that is really clever when you watch it. And I've watched that kill now like a few times because it's only a small one within the movie, and not many people probably pay attention to it, which is why they didn't focus so much time and money on making it look better. But it is a seamless transition as he slams the rock down on his head because it's filmed aerially as well, that kill, which makes it even more cooler. I'm sorry, I'm just going off on a tangent now. I digress.
This kill, I like this kill. Like the hook through, hook the head and then pull it through the body.
I think it went a bit too far though.
I do, but I like it. I like what they were going for here. And I like the fact that once he knew she was dead, which was a long time before he'd pulled her head through her own body, he just completely loses interest. Just the nonchalant kicks her down a hill. Like that, if they could have made that the whole movie, like take away all the exposition and just follow him around while he's killing people and don't explain anything at all, I think I would have liked that better. But because they half explain stuff and don't do it very well, I'm kind of always looking for more explanation and more links with characters. Like if you give me a film where there are no links with the characters are literally here to die, then I probably would have been more on board with it. But I kept trying to like, oh, maybe this yoga girl's going to like put up a fight. She looks pretty fit. She does yoga. Maybe she can like fend him off. But she just stands there and goes, oh, a man with a hook. Oh, and now I'm dead. Like, I don't know. There was.
I think one of the biggest mistakes they've made, now you're highlighting it, is probably like we could have still done this and had a character. We could have done it this way and had a character which we relate to, and we don't even need exposition on that person in particular. So let's say the yoga girl decided to run down the slope and not die and got away in that instance, and she was the final girl at the end. But because we'd had that character interaction with her previously in the movie, it was somebody for us to relate to and later on in the movie would have an association with. But what we don't do is she dies here in this moment, and by the time we do get to the end and we find out the one girl who does have the locket, I don't even know who she is. I don't even remember seeing her at any point. And I watched this movie twice now, I do not know who she is. I don't remember her being around the campfire. And if she did, she didn't say a fucking word while she was there. Because I was like, got to the end, I was like, who are you? Who are you?
I'll be honest, the kids that are left now, like, you got two blokes and this girl, and I don't know anything about any of them. And
Nope.
I will admit, Johnny going up to the house where he sort of sits and plays with the car, and then he gets distracted by the teens. Like, his attack here, I think, is very clever, where he triggers the car alarm and he actually runs for a little bit. He runs around the side of the house like this. I'm like, oh shit, he can move quick. Like this moment, I was a little bit more invested. Right, he's intelligent, so he's triggered the alarm to bring them out. He's then run around the back. Like, this is cool.
Well, I mean,
But
he doesn't
then
really run. He just gets a steadier pace, doesn't he, on his walk?
he ran about as fast as I run.
But again, like here, there's some creative use of cinematography and kills as well, because like there's I think there's like four of them left. I think there's four of them left without the introduction of the ranger guy who comes later on. So the two blokes here who die in this moment is really cool because he comes around the back of the house, sets the car alarm off, goes to attack the douchebag guy who threw the keys. He puts up a little bit of a fight and gets axed in the leg. Brilliant. And then the other guy comes out of nowhere and shoots him, which again, cool. Johnny goes down. You think, oh, fuck, right? He's actually can take damage then. Obviously, we know he's getting back up.
But why didn't they shoot him again? Like, I've got a big problem.
Because it's a slasher movie. This is a thing in slasher movies.
If that was you and me, and you'd got attacked and you had a big gash in your leg, and I come out and shot someone, as I walked past them, they would have got another one in the forehead just to fucking make sure they stayed where I put them. And then
I'd have been doing Johnny's axe kill later on, which he does, which is fucking wild. When we get to that one. Yeah, but this one's great because he gets up and the two characters are out of scene, and you just see him throw the axe. You don't know what's happened. You just see him throw the axe, and as the camera pans up to Ariel, you know I'm a drone guy. This sort of starts hovering over to the guy with an axe in his head, just laid on the floor, and the other guy who's been cut limping away. Great, and then he stones him in the head. And again, I've already highlighted how cool I think that kill is, just poorly executed again due to CGI. But again, these are really, really cool scenes in this movie. Like, really cool, to the point where I'm gushing so much because every single kill in this film, I think, is brilliant. I can't pick apart any of them. I can pick apart the yoga kill, and I'm going to do it now. I wanted to do it earlier, but I didn't have a chance. That pisses me off, and I'll tell you for why. I can buy the hook going through the stomach and her being in complete shock and sort of being on her feet for a couple of minutes. I can then take the hook in the head. Brilliant. She's dead now. And a simple drop kick off the cliff would have done it for me, and I'd have been applauding that scene unconditionally. I'm like, that was fucking cool. But for him to then pull the head through the stomach and this girl still be on her feet while he's doing so, not even collapsing in a ball at any point, having her spine severed or her head being full, to me, it was just like, right, if you're going to do something like this, at least make it digestible, because I'm not being funny. Nobody would still be standing on their feet as this is going on.
No,
you wouldn't, probably. Man. Don't pretend like you could start. Yeah, I think I could take it.
Oh no, the thing is, I wouldn't be anywhere near Johnny because, as soon as I saw him on that cliff, I'd have slid down the hill and I'd have swam across the lake, taking the educated guess that the big, heavy guy carrying all the chains probably isn't the quickest of swimmers or the quickest of runners.
Even that alone, though, right? When you get to the end of a cliff, and people forget they can also go left and right. Baffles me unconditionally. I'm like, what are you doing? You're not a chess piece. You can move in other directions, You're at the edge of a cliff, but you can move left and right. You can follow the edge of the cliff in that direction and he won't catch you.
Yeah, or run towards him and just sort of drop kick him. Like catch him off guard, like anything, but don't just stand there and go, I'm going to die. We get introduced to Ranger. I've called him Ranger Rick.
I like that. I can go with Ranger Rick.
Don't know who he is. Don't know why he's here. What he brings to this story is...
On your mark, get set, terrible.
I mean, he's a
honestly,
legacy character, isn't he?
from what fucking film? This is the first movie. How can you have a
Well, I
legacy
mean,
character?
technically, he lets us know that this is the third movie because his dad
Oh,
killed him once, and then he killed him a generation later,
right.
and
I'm
now he's
glad
back to kill him again.
I'm so happy you said that. And Ranger Rick explains you can slow him down with bullets, but you can't stop him. You need to take him back to where he was laid to rest and hang his necklace up. So
Yeah.
Ranger Rick shoots him and
Yep.
drops Johnny. They have a 15-minute conversation while Johnny is laying there. Why is
This pissed me
Ranger
off
Rick?
as well.
Why is he not going, well, we'll talk about this in a minute. I'm going to put another 18 bullets in him and then we're going to move him. But he just leaves him to recover. It's like, what are you doing? Like,
And
shit,
again,
you've killed him before. Kill him again.
yeah, it was a whole countdown thing that he does. He's like, in 3 seconds, I'm going to give you the gun. 1,
Yeah.
2. Oh, hold on a minute. I need to sneeze. 3. And then obviously Johnny wakes up on 3. But again, right? So this is my logic with stuff like this. This dude's carrying an axe. He has an axe laid next to him. They say he will repeatedly get up.
Yeah.
Take the axe and cut his fucking legs off.
Exactly. Or
You know what I
anything.
mean? Cut his legs off. He might crawl after you. And I'm not
Yeah.
being funny, right? If you decapitate him, you cut his head off. You cut his head off. What's he going to do? He's not a Chucky doll. He's not going to stick it back on. Surely there is a way of killing these people. Like, that's one thing that annoys me in movies when they say, they will keep coming. It's like, no, they won't.
Like when he's down here, chop his legs off, chop his arms off, chop his head off and kick it in the lake. And yes, he may come after you, but he's not going to be very effective as a torso, like rolling around on the floor. I'll be honest,
No.
this was the point on this second watch where I just sat there and just
Fuck
went,
this shit, I'm out.
You see, the thing is, I do that frequently throughout this movie. There is moments where I'm like, fuck you. That was awesome. Fuck you. That was awesome. And it happens constantly. It's like a tennis match when watching this film. I really will be honest with you about it. But Ranger Rick's death, fucking awesome. You've got beef, and I want to know why.
my beef with this is two things. One, I don't think any of the cuts look that good. Two, Ranger Rick is a fucking terrible actor.
So I like when he's down, and I like when he
I'm not
pulls his
done.
back. Okay.
My third point is this scene is 11 and a half hours longer than it needs to be.
Nah, man, it's cool. The build up to it's awesome. It's fucking great. I watched it the first time. I thought, what's he doing? What's going on? Second time I watched it, I knew what he was doing. I knew what was going on. Still appreciated the tension building. And that's probably because this is the only moment of tension building in this actual movie, to be honest with you. And I think that's why I latched to it so much. But I like the paralyzing thing. I like when he paralyzes him. That's really cool.
Yeah.
You think, you thought, he snapped his neck. But no, then you realize he's still blinking. He's still alive. He walks off to the shed, turns on this big, massive generator. 20 minutes later, he comes back and grabs Ranger Rick and drags him in. And, dude. And the thing is, he doesn't just kill him instantly either. Like, he snaps a log. He snaps a log and he's like, look what this machine does. Let me show you. I'm going to put your arm in it. And then he just cuts his arm off. I'm like, oh, no. He doesn't move. He doesn't flinch because he's paralyzed. I want to know if he felt the pain. I want to know if he could feel it in that instant.
I imagine so. And like this sadistic side, this is very Art the Clown. Art the Clown does this. It's like he takes pleasure in watching them suffer and watching them know what's coming. And like I think that's a great trait to have in a killer.
Yeah.
Like this sort of, you're going to get this and it's going to really hurt.
Oh, it's so cool.
I don't know if it fits this character. We don't know enough about him for him to be going.
I was going to say, we don't know, do we?
He's very much, and now my plan, Mr. Bond. Look, I'm going to do your arm next.
And again, maybe that's why I like it, because it's introducing some sort of characteristics to him, you know, and I liked it. I thought it was cool, and I liked the way that he was just there, just watching his arm get chopped off, and then he just places his head within the conveyor and it slowly just chops his head off. I'm like, oh, that was fucking awesome. And I always put myself in that situation. Like, if I was gonna go, I think that would be my worst. Like, they would feel like the longest 10 minutes of my entire life.
it felt like the longest 10 minutes of my entire life
Fuck off.
watching this dog shit. From here, explain to me what the fuck happened, because we go from here to some random girl and some random bloke making a plan to trap him in the forest, which is incredibly flawed. And
Yep.
this sort of in the nighttime forest scene is utter garbage. It's got no direction. It's just people running around going, "Oh, he's there! Oh no, he's there!" Johnny's just going,
Yeah.
"Dish, dish, dish." Like this. Honestly,
It's a
scene,
terrible ending. This movie does have a terrible ending.
it's not even the ending. Like this bit where they're trying to trap him is
Yeah, it's like 25 minutes to go.
It's bullshit. Like you're
Yeah.
never going to trap him. You two don't know what you're doing. You've had Ranger Rick tell you in about 3 sentences how to put him down, and now you're planning on killing. Like, go get in your car, drive very, very far away from whatever fucking forest you're in, and forget all about it. Like, don't go.
But
and
again,
hunt
though,
every
this is a thing. Like, that's the fault of the movie, though, because if we were watching a slasher from the character's perspective, you would be behind them at this point. If this was I Know What You Did Last Summer and we're talking about the law of trapping the fisherman and they're coming up with this plan and these characters are banding together, you'd be like, yeah, fucking get him, get it down. Like, but we don't have that because we're not attached to them. We're not attached to their character perspective. And they're following slasher formula throughout. They never break the standardized slasher formula from the 90s all the way through this movie. But it doesn't convey very well to the audience like everything else before it has, because we're not seeing it from that side. And that's where the movie fails. But we get this awesome axe kill. And let's talk about that, because it's fucking epic.
I'm going to, in my notes, it just says, they badly attempt to trap and lure him back to his resting place. Fucking idiots. And then in block capitals, brutal axe kill.
Yeah. But that's the thing, it's so fucking cool because he's like almost trying to distract Johnny, thinking he's been the hero, and literally as soon as he opens his mouth, Johnny just turns around and just splits his head in half with the axe, and you're like, oh, and it's so quick, and it's the only moment in this movie of genuine like shock and sort of like horror, whoa, fuck, you know, because it happens so quick. Everything else from this point is predictable. We know what's going to happen. We know how it's going to happen because we are following the killer. He doesn't jump out the darkness or from behind corners because we are behind the corner with him. When you get to this point and he immediately just cuts him in half with the head with the axe, I'm like, fuck, that was awesome. You don't get the rest of it on screen, but for the next 10 minutes of the movie, you just hear as he's just splitting his head like a watermelon. I would hate to see the aftermath of that.
Yeah, and it, like that one kill, take that fucking stupid mask off him, stick a hockey mask on him, replace that axe for a machete, and stick it in the next Friday the 13th movie, I would be literally stood on the back of my sofa with my arms in the air going, woo! But at this point, I'm so disinterested and disillusioned by this fucking wannabe bullshit copycat killer that
He's a copycat, a copycat.
So you get that.
But again, is it? What's the definition of copycat and homage? You know,
the kill of Crazy Ralph, like in this, this is a carbon copy. I tell you what, when we release this episode, I'm sticking both kills side by side on a reel just to show.
Oh man, they're identical. But I feel like it's purposeful. That's the thing. I feel like it's all done with intention. And that's why I find it so hard to be mad at it.
It is, but like you get this bit where he brutally murders this guy with the axe for about an hour. And this then makes the entire movie pointless because the girl does what she should have done ages ago and runs away. And we then stop following Johnny and we follow random insert final girl here.
Well, she drops a locket before she runs because that's a vital part of the story.
Yeah, and she runs off and she gets to the road and she gets picked up by an old lady, and the old lady gets her in the car and they drive down the road. They have a bit of a chat. She starts
to have a very lengthy, boring chat.
Yeah,
that has no bearing on the movie and has no relevance and is one of the most boring ways to end this film.
And she starts to pass out and the woman stops the car and like wakes her up and checks her, and it ends with just her staring out into the bushes.
Oh.
And
again, I get this scene. This scene is purposefully for you to be like, oh, he's going to jump out and get him at the last moment.
Yeah,
Obviously,
I paused it. I paused it to see if Johnny was in but I couldn't see him in the bushes.
No, he's not, because he's back in the ground. He's back where he came from, because he's got the locket back.
Just bury the locket with him. Maybe don't stick it on a big fucking stick pointing out of the ground, and maybe it won't get stolen.
But again, you don't know that he put it there. You don't know if he's buried himself back in that place. You don't know, because we don't get no exposition. We don't know if the Ranger Rick buried him there the last time and then hung the locket above his grave. We just don't know, because there's not enough there to tell us. So we don't know where he's gone. We know he's got the locket, but we don't know if he's gone back in the ground in his resting place. I don't know. This might be his locket of superpowers, and next time he comes back, he's Jason X.
I'll be playing with your mama tonight.
I feel like you maybe clicked the wrong button there.
No, I really didn't. That's just how I feel. Anyway, as we've had a slight format change, catch Mark off guard. Recommended account of the week.
I remember the good old days of season 1 to 3 of Game of Thrones.
Yeah, then season 4 where they just went, nah, don't know what we're doing. Season 5 where they went, you get 4 episodes you've waited 8 years for, and that's it. That'll do.
Right,
Bran the Broken.
Oh, how disappointing was that? I don't know what's worse, the ending of Violent Nature or fucking Game of Thrones. Right, anyway, so this week's recommended account is 80s Video Shop. 80s Video Shop is an actual video shop that is still in working order in Alfreton. I don't know. England has some weird villages. Anyway, it's there. The reason I'm bringing this account up, I bought some tapes off them recently. Really cool guys. I've had a cool back and forth with them for the past couple of months. They do some really, really cool stuff there. They have like open days at the shop where they have events and guest speakers. It's basically like what you get at a bookshop. Do you know when bookshops get like guest speakers in? They get like actors and directors down every now and again, and they hold events there. But they were on this morning. They were on this morning, literally last week, which was fucking cool. Yeah. So go watch that on YouTube, the 80s Video Shop on this morning, which was a cool segment on the show about the dying out of VHS and its resurgence again in pop culture. But the guys who own the shop are actually really, really cool dudes, and I feel like they deserve more recognition. I mean, I'm sure This Morning gave them plenty, but the You Run podcast could probably do a better job. So go and follow 80s Video Shop, and as always, let them know that the You Run podcast sent you there.
Hi, everybody. I'm your host, Marc J. Parker, and this is Release Date Rewind.
Anniversary in cinema is a huge thing, and Release Date Rewind understand that better than anyone else, as Mark brings guests on his show to celebrate anniversaries of movies, be it 25 years, 35 years or 40 years. Release Date Rewind is there to cover them all.
That's going to be a very wonderful episode with
Movies, TV series, video games, deep dive discussions, creator spotlights. LK the Horror Nerd brings so much to the world of horror. This is a show that covers absolutely everything you could ever want, so make sure you check them out. These shows and many more are all members of the You Run Podcast Network, available at yourunpodcast.com. Your home of horror entertainment. So make sure you go and check out Mark's recommended account of the week. Also, all of the members of the fabulous You Run Podcast Network at yourunpodcast.com. There you'll also find links to all of our socials. If you can't be bothered to go there, we're at You Run Podcast everywhere. Mark is on Instagram only because he is a dinosaur when it comes to social media. Is at Reviews from the Crypt, where he praises movies in long-form reviews like the one we're talking about today, or VHS from the Crypt, where he shares photographs of old shit that you can't buy anymore and makes everyone jealous. You can also get in touch with the show by sending an audio DM on Instagram or X, or recording a TikTok and tagging us, or sending us an email yourunpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to support us, please make sure you share this episode with a friend, an enemy, your nan. Like, I don't care who you share it with someone. Give us a 5-star review on Apple or Spotify. And if you want to put some money in the show coffers so me and Mark can buy beer, I won't lie to you. Like, it will go back into the show one way or the other. Friday recording beers is probably a way that money will find its way back into the show. You can do that at yourunpodcast.com. Click the icon that says shop. Like, it's really that simple. And there you'll get all of our merchandise, and it's about to get a big revamp. So everything that's there now in a month's time will not be there. We're about to get brand new merch in a brand new shop that I'm currently working on. At the moment, I have 100 pieces of merchandise in the new shop that's ready to drop soon.
Cool.
100. Anyway, let's do some facts. There's not many for this, thank fuck. The director Chris Nash revealed the original title for this film was Sleeping Animal.
That's dreadful.
Terrible. Awful.
Absolutely shocking.
So he decided to shoot this in the ratio that he did because that's the ratio that he enjoyed slasher movies as a kid. So all the VHS he watched was in the ratio that he shot this movie. And he done that.
Do you know, that pissed me off, mate? I'll tell you for why before you go any further. So this is shot in a 4:3 aspect ratio, which is old school
Academy.
Right. Yeah. So I have my PlayStation 3 set up attached to my 90s old school video player TV. And I was like, I've got to do it in a violent nature. Fucking awesome. I'm going to watch it in 4:3 aspect ratio on my old school telly. That's going to be cool. No. All it did was just put it in fucking widescreen and then crop the sides in. So basically, do you know how you get it on a widescreen telly where it brings the sides in and you've got the square view?
Yeah.
When I put it on my old school telly, it basically brought the bars in at the top and then brought the sides in. So it was like literally like that big in the middle of the TV. I was like, what the fuck?
You'd have been better off watching it on your phone because you've had a bigger screen.
Oh, mate, yeah. So I was like, that doesn't relate, and it annoyed me as well. It annoyed me because if you're gonna do a movie in that sort of style, you need to film it in that sort of style, in my opinion. You know, you can't have this glossy 4K ultra HD quality movie in a 4:3 aspect ratio because it just feels like something missing from your telly. At least when you have a film that's filmed with like the grainy sort of and it's in a 4:3 on your telly. Because I'll watch VHS. I've got a VHS player on the inside of the house with the big 4K telly.
Yeah.
And when I put those in, I have to adjust the settings to 4:3 aspect ratio, otherwise it stretches it. But it's still a 4:3 with the sound bars on the side, but it's a grainy, so I know what I'm watching, you know. But like, dude, that annoyed me. And I remember on the first time really appreciating it, like, yeah, that's real cool, that's real indie, that's hip. No, man, it pissed me off this time around. I was like, why? Why have you even done that?
They made about 15 gallons of fake blood, and they used different blends to make it, depending on what mix they needed. The mix consisted of corn syrup and red velvet cake, which I've never heard anyone using red velvet cake to make blood. So on this set, the blood tasted like red velvet cake with sugar syrup. Like, fucking amazing.
What's red velvet cake?
It is just a red sponge cake.
So what they do is blend it up.
Yeah, just blend it up and mix it in with the blood, and that's how they got like all the lumps of what look like bits of.
Oh, right, okay, right. I'm with you now. Yeah.
The lady driver who picks up the final girl at the end is Lauren Marie Taylor, who's actually Vicky from Friday the 13th Part 2. And this is one of her first acting roles since 1981.
Ah, explains the Crazy Ralph kill. You know, I tell you, the fans. I didn't pick up on that cameo in the slightest.
There are 11 minutes and 57 seconds in a 1 hour and 30 minutes of Johnny walking. That's way too much.
Again, like as a background movie, it's nice. It is a nice background movie. Especially, this is a perfect Halloween movie. Like, you know, on Halloween night when there's shit going on, like those ambient scenes of him walking from point A to point B are a nice break, and then you come back in for a kill, and then you can switch back out again. But when you are sat and you are on your sofa and you are focused on an entire movie, yes, 11 minutes is way too long.
It is way, 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 way too long. We have no voicemails this week. That's a lie. We have voicemails this week, but I'm saving them for next week because I wanted to share some Spotify and YouTube comments with you this week.
That's a nostalgia vibe.
Yahoo!
Right there.
Over on Spotify, Beardy Benji, this come on the Mummy episode. You had us at Dusty Nuts. Lady Crisis, this was after the Dawn of the Dead episode. Scott, you have to watch the found footage end. Did you really think you'd have a zombie movie with a happy ending? Yes, I did. And I walked away from that movie very happy. They all survived. Dave B Movies, bringing heat to me and my dog. This is after the Red Dragon episode where I showed a picture of my wonderful, beautiful, gorgeous dog, Flo. He put, Scott, I think a rat has eaten your dog.
I haven't seen a picture of your dog because you put those
one
in afterwards.
No, I don't. I done it live when we were here. I showed a picture on the episode of my dog.
Man, I think I've maybe got a drinking problem. I don't remember shit every time we finish recording.
Over the last couple of weeks, we've put all of our audio-only episodes onto Spotify, and we've had a wonderful response in the amount of people who've listened, which I'm over the moon about. We also got some weird comments. YouTube is a very weird place. So BPO 1975 commented on our cuckoo episode. Contrarian edgelord podcasters alert. Too edgy for me, bro. And I had to go and Google exactly what they meant because I'm guessing they are younger. So what they think is by us edgelords, they think that we are saying things that are deliberately edgy and against the grain to try and gather.
Fuck off! That's exactly what cuckoo is.
Cuckoo's shit. That's what cuckoo is, and we said it exactly how we saw it, which is what we always do. So, yeah,
cuckoo is the definition of fucking edgelord.
Yeah,
I'm going to use that now. Now I'm educated enough to know what edgelord means. I'm listen to the Euron podcast. I'm going to be dropping that bomb soon.
And then, do you remember way back when we recorded with Barry, wonderful Barry from Wolfman's Got Nards, Dave?
Oh yeah, Dave. Yeah, sorry, I didn't know Barry. Who's Barry?
We done Friday the 13th, the final chapter, and we were talking about skinny dipping. We got a comment from Skinny Dipping Dave.
Wait. Let me guess. Does he skinny dip?
I'll read you his comment and then you can go from there. I was born on the 21st of January 1971 and I always skinny dip wherever I swim. I never swim with anything on. I always swim nude. I never swim with anything in my entire life and I never will. I always swim in my birthday suit, not my bathing suit. I always swim in the nude for the rest of my life. Whenever I swim, forever, throughout all eternity. I also have Halloween 10-disc Blu-ray box set. It's all starting to make sense to me now. Halloween 6 Producers Cut box set. I also have the entire Department 56 Christmas item that ever existed, ever.
I'm guessing he doesn't have a leisure centre membership.
No, he watches Halloween in skinny dips. I didn't know if it was like your secret account that you were just hiding.
No, I'm not skinny dipping Dave. Trust me. I'm a big advocate for swimming trunks.
As am I. If you want to get your comments on the show, it's really easy. Go and comment on any of our YouTube videos, any of our Spotify episodes, and yeah, chances are I'll dig one out. And if you want to share your skinny dippy stories, you can do that by sending us a voicemail. Caption this. So we put this picture out this week, if I can find it, that one there. Caption this. It looks quite romantic, those two like that, but he does look like a fucking bee. Looks terrible.
Now you say it, it's annoying that I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Chainsaw Chicken Barbecue. Surprise finger in 3, 2. And he's an artist and a horror account. Womp Stomp Films. This nailed it for me. Act already.
I mean, that's harsh.
I don't think it is. AMPFX Studios. This is Alex, brilliant makeup effects artist. He's been on the show. Who's actually coming on the show next month. That's not a hook in my pocket. I'm just pleased to see you.
Yeah, I like that.
Dave B Movies. Quit playing and put it in already. Everyone went with the same thing. It went the same route. Mike the Movie Misfit. I think the Hatchet movies done this before me, but I will give it a shot. And they did. Hatchet has actually pulled someone's head through their stomach, just not with a hook.
Oh, have they actually?
Yeah, so it's not even a unique. Dewey Pod Monster. This should be a cool movie. It's so shit, it doesn't even matter.
I think that's unfair. I'll save it for my roundup.
And that's Dewey Pod Monster, member of the You Run Podcast Network. And finally, we've got two more. Yeah, totally, dude. When you warned her, she'd feel it in her guts.
Oh man, the juvenile nature of our listeners is unmatched,
but thoroughly encouraged.
Definitely.
Morgan Ian Art. I can't see anything in this damn mask, and he's an artist.
Man, put that picture back up again.
He can't see anything at all.
It's fucking Bender from Futurama. That's what's been annoying me.
It is.
That's what's been annoying me, and I couldn't figure out what it was. It's fucking Bender from Futurama.
There's definitely a meme coming for that. We're going to play a game. It's the game we've played a couple of times now. It's where you pick a character and the other person has to guess what it is in 60 seconds. I also just need to quickly add in the 60-second video drop. So I've got it.
Oh, hold on. What are we doing? I was thinking about Bender from Futurama.
So we're going to do the game where you guess the character with yes/no questions.
Oh, shit. This is really hard.
The game you really like. I'm going to go first. Yeah. We'll do 3 each. So I'm going to go first, and your time, I'm going to turn the volume down on that. Your time starts.
Well, hold on. When you say you go first, are you guessing first or are you telling first?
You're guessing first because I've got my person already.
Right, okay.
Are you ready?
Yes. Is it a man?
Yes.
Is it a slasher?
Yes.
Does he have a hook?
No.
Does he have a machete?
No.
Does he have a knife?
Yes.
Is it Ghostface?
No.
Does he wear a mask?
Yes.
Does he kill teenagers?
Yes.
Does he have superpowers?
Not really.
Does he shit, man? Shit.
He does shit, yeah.
No. Does he have a chainsaw?
No.
Oh, fuck! The clock's annoying me. That is shit, man.
Final guess. You get one more guess.
Is it Charles Lee Ray?
No, you're going to kick yourself so fucking hard. It's Michael Myers.
Oh, dude, I didn't go for Michael Myers because I think you used that one like last time we played this game. I was like, surely he's not recycling old material.
I did just to see if you'd get it. Have you got one?
Give me a second.
If you haven't, I can go again.
No, that's not how this game works. Brain. Yes, go.
You got one. Okay.
Yep.
Is it a man?
Yes.
Is it a slasher?
No.
Is it a monster movie?
No.
Is it a protagonist?
No.
So it's a villain. Is this man human?
Yes.
Does this man kill people?
Yes.
Does
Debatable.
this
Debatable. And that's probably giving it away.
does he use a weapon?
No. Yes. I don't know.
Uh,
No.
Does he have magic powers?
No.
Is he fucking hell? Is he tall?
He's average.
I literally have no fucking clue.
The fact that there is conflict in whether he's a killer or not should give it away.
Is it Pinhead?
No, I'm John Kramer, man. Come on.
Ah, dude. Right, I'm gonna go again. Ready?
Yes.
Let's go.
Are you a protagonist?
Yes.
Are you female?
No.
Are you Jesse from Nightmare on Elm Street 2?
No.
Are you human?
No.
Are you... No?
No.
You're not human.
No.
You're not the bad guy. Are you a horror character?
Yes.
Fuck. Dude, what? That no, there isn't anybody who's non-human in a horror movie that's not the bad guy.
There is.
Should I know it?
Yes, we've reviewed it.
Oh, fucking hell. Oh, that was difficult, man. That was. What have you picked?
Blade.
Right. No, because technically, that is where you say I was a human.
No, he was never a human. He was born vampire. He was born a daywalker.
Fucking technicalities, man. What a load of bullshit.
Go on then. Let you do one more.
Right. Yes, go on then.
Okay. Are you male?
Yes.
Are you the villain?
Not initially, and probably not throughout.
Okay. Are you a killer?
No. By the way, just because you said male doesn't mean to say I'm human. Just to give you that edge.
Okay.
I feel like you made assumptions early on.
Are you human?
No.
Are you a monster?
No.
Are you a werewolf?
No.
Do you have superpowers?
Not necessarily.
Are you a god?
No.
Do you exist in the real world, or are you like a dream thing?
No, I'm in the real world.
Don't have any powers. Not.
Dude, we both... Right, this needs to become a reoccurring thing, because we both need to get better at this game.
Yeah. Are you... Are you Kiefer Sutherland from The Lost Boys?
No, I wouldn't go from Blade to then being another vampire, would I?
Who
I'm
are you?
Churches from Pet Sematary.
What, the cat?
The cat. What? I'm allowed to be the cat. I was the xenomorph from Aliens last time we played this game.
This is true. Should we do one more each and then move on?
Yeah, right. Let's just do better. Let's both try our hardest and just think about the questions we're asking.
Yeah.
Because we're playing like what we're doing at the moment is we're playing a simple game of Guess Who.
Yeah.
And we need to think more outside the box.
Yeah. Okay. Right. Here you go. Go.
Oh shit! I didn't know you was expecting me to lead on this. Are you human?
Yes.
Are you male? I'll get the simple ones out of the way first. Are you extraterrestrial?
No.
That's how you say it. Right. Are you a protagonist?
Yes.
Do you have superpowers?
Yes.
Are you from this generation? Are you relevant to modern times?
Relevant to you and me. Very relevant. Big movie when we were growing up.
Are you the Terminator?
No. I'm human.
Are you Indiana Jones?
No. It's a horror movie.
I mean, Temple of Doom. Shit. Are you George Clooney from Dusk Till Dawn?
No.
Fuck. So I went on a big monologue about how we should do better, and I did not do better.
I was John Constantine.
Oh, that's such a cool one as well.
Yeah, and he's got powers, and yeah, I thought when I said powers that would have been the route you went down.
Right, hold on then. Right, I'm gonna make this one, as you can tell. Right, yeah, I've got it. I've got who I am. I'm
Okay.
locked in.
Are you male?
Yes.
So sexist. They've all been men. Do you have powers?
Yes.
Are you a villain?
Yes.
You hesitated. Are you a conflicted villain? Did you start as a hero?
Yes. No.
No.
Always been the
you're a
villain. But I'm an anti-hero in a sense.
Are you? Did you say you do have powers?
Mm-hmm.
Do your powers involve flight?
Yes, actually, in moments.
Are you super strong?
Can be.
Do you have the power to travel through space and time?
No.
Can you travel into people's dreams?
Yes.
Are you Freddy Krueger?
No. Close.
Are you Pinhead?
No. Cold. I'm Beetlejuice.
Oh, I got a final guess, and you took it away from me.
You wouldn't have fucking said that anyway.
No, I wouldn't. Well, that's another one of those games, all done and dusted. I am going to round this up first because we're going to end it on a high note. Strap in. I'm really
Come
sorry.
on, then. Give it your best.
I hate you. I hate you.
Right. This movie is utter garbage. It's shot poorly, using outdated effects that took me out of the movie. Like the black ring like around the TV when you're looking at the campfire, and they've just brought the contrast right down. Just annoyed the fuck out of me. Like it's imitating the mask of Michael Myers at times, and that took me out of the movie. The main killer has very little to no explanation. Like he wants a locket. But why? Why is the locket important? It's so fucking stupid. I have to watch him walk everywhere, which even the makers of the Friday the 13th game knew that Jason walking everywhere was fucking boring. So when you play Jason, you can fast travel from place to place, and you basically turn into a ball of dust and you whiz around to where you need to get to, because the walking is fucking dull. Sound design is atrocious. I can hear people clear as day, whether they're a foot away or a mile away. It implies that Johnny has supersonic hearing, but I know he doesn't. His footsteps are like a fucking transformer walking through the forest. They overshadow everything else. The actors across the board, there is not a single exception, are fucking terrible. None of them are good enough to even be on daytime TV, let alone in a fucking horror movie. The biggest flaw of all is following the killer. On paper, it sounds wonderful. In reality, it doesn't work. Slashers for me are driven by character development, like the final girl, the final boy, that group of friends. Like I connect with these characters and their fight for survival, and seeing everything. Like, so when you see the killer in the bushes and they don't see him, like the tension's there and you're worried for him, and none of that is here. By taking the perspective of the killer, you suck out all of the connection to the characters. You suck out all of the tension and all of the excitement of the kill. There's nothing here. All the kills feel meaningless. I don't care for any of the characters. Like these could have just been like random people. Like they just such a piss poor job. The movie is trash. The concept is flawed. All of the issues that they would have seen during filming were ignored. It has possibly one, maybe two half decent kills. It steals from every other property that it possibly can with no remorse. And I think it steals to the point that it's no longer homage, it's pure just rip off. That worked for them, so we're going to steal it. It tries to stand out as being different, but the only thing that's different is they shoot it from the killer's perspective. People will defend it by saying it's different, it's unique, it's something new. Like, none of those things mean it's any good. Troll 2 is different, unique, and new, and it's one of the worst movies ever made. And so is this.
I'll defend Troll 2.
This gets 0.2
Fuck off.
out of 5.
No.
It was going to get half, but after discussing it, I found more flaws with it. It gets 0.2 out of 5. And in truth, I'm only giving it that because it's got the odd 1 or 2 Friday the 13th vibes. I will never watch this again. And if there's a sequel, I will never, ever poll it for this show. This is fucking garbage. I hate it.
Fucking hell, man. How the bed did you wake up on this morning?
This is shit. Now, in much lighter news, your turn.
No, I mean, the thing is, I'm not going to disagree with the majority of the points that you've brought to the table. You're right. There was a lot of elements that you have said that are right. You know, like, I think they messed up the POV angle. I think they messed up a lot of the wasted time from traveling from A to B angle. There is so many things that this movie gets wrong, but I appreciate them trying. I do appreciate them trying. I think the kills are fantastic. I think the practical effects are fantastic. I think they're not a rip-off. I do think they're homage-based. I think the whole character design, I think the entire movie itself is homage-based. And I think they wrote the idea based on, imagine if we watched Friday the 13th Part 2, but we just followed Jason. And they rolled with it, and they implemented it, and they took those things. And yeah, they didn't nail everything. They didn't get everything right. And they probably failed more than they did succeed, in my opinion. I think there's a lot of things about this that I personally, somebody who's not even a movie maker, would have done better. But I'm not going to strip it down. I'm not going to belittle it. I'm not going to pull it apart, because I feel like the movie industry needs this kind of creativity. I feel like it needs this kind of revitalization of ideas and fresh perspectives and unique takes. They don't always work, but when they do, they're fantastic. You know, we're very much in a saturated genre right now where everything is trying to be A24. It's trying to be A24, man. Tune into next week because we'll talk about it more then. But everything is trying to be A24. It's trying to be this new, edgy, fucking modern horror, whatever it was. We did a poll on it. What do we call it? What do we call modern horror?
I've completely forgotten. We done a whole
work horror that we're doing at the that we did in January.
Art house
horror bullshit. At least these guys, it basically would be like, I feel like the people who made this movie are me and you. And I feel like we sat there and we've had a conversation on a podcast and we went, imagine how that would play out if we actually followed Jason throughout the full thing. That'd be cool, wouldn't it? That'd be interesting to see. And you're right, it is. And a lot of this movie is interesting to see. I think the things that you've heavily criticized on, such as in terms of cinematography, sound design, I don't personally think they're as bad as you're making them out to be. I've seen this twice now. I think it's shot visually very, very well. I think it looks great. The sound design, yes, it could be done better, but I can appreciate the effort that they went to with trying that. I think the increasing sound volumes as conversations became more clearer as he got closer could have been done better. But the effort was there and the understanding was there for me as an audience member, what they were trying to achieve. I don't think it deserves that level of hate at all. I think the kills are fantastic. I think the character design of Johnny's fantastic. I'm interested in his lore, and similar to what they did with Terrifier. Let's just use Terrifier as a basis for this argument. The first Terrifier movie was absolutely shite. There's no denying that. It was fucking horrible. But they took what the audience said to them, things that worked, things that didn't work. And I feel like this is a movie franchise that has that potential. If they listen to people and understand the market and think, right, what we tried here was our first attempt. We're going to take feedback. We're going to implement that into the second one. I think this franchise could be something just as successful as Terrifier if executed correctly in the sequels coming up. I'm on board for it. I wish them well. I encourage them to try new things, but I also encourage them to take note of what people are saying regarding their movie. For me, I think this is a 3.5. I reviewed this on a first watch. And on a first watch, I even wrote in my review, I was like, I'm really curious to know whether this was hold up just as well on a rewatch. It turns out it doesn't. Because on a rewatch, the things that I thought were entertaining the first time around, such as the walking aspect, I didn't mind that the first time. I was really intrigued by that. I was really curious by it when I watched this movie for the first time. On a rewatch, it annoyed me. And I did. I was guilty of doing the, on Shudder where you can do the 10-second skip.
Yeah.
As soon as he started walking, that was me. I was tapping. Next thing, I watched this full movie in about 35 minutes. Because I knew what elements of it I needed to push forward with to get to where I needed to be. So in the space of an hour and 90-minute movie, I condensed it down to 35 minutes, and I enjoyed it for that. But my curiosity of would this hold up in a remake? The answer isn't in a rewatch. Sorry. Is no, it doesn't hold up in a rewatch, because that first initial introduction to it and that curiosity and that intrigue by it is all gone on a rewatch.
Yeah.
I won't ever watch this movie again unless I have to for the purposes of the show or any sort of podcasting or any horror interactions I may have in the future. There'll be no need for me to refresh my watch of this movie. So for that reason, my score is going to be slightly lower than what it was when I reviewed it. I'm going to give it a 2.5 out of 5. But I think as somebody who's going in blind, never seen this film before, doesn't know what's happening, I think there's a lot here to enjoy. I think it's, as an initial watch, it's really creative and really intelligent, just poorly executed in places. So it's a 2.5 out of 5. I wish the creators of this movie all the best, and I hope they succeed with the sequel that is coming out, whenever that's coming out. I know it's been announced, but I don't know when it's going to be. But yeah, innovation, man. Bring it on. I thought it was cool.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Fuck off.
Well, that is our review of In a Violent Nature. We're going to be back next week. We're going to be bringing you a brand new episode that's chosen by you. I'm going to give you some homework. Go and watch Immaculate with the lovely Sydney Sweeney. We're going to be covering that. Until then, make sure you drop comments on Spotify, YouTube, reach out as you always do to us. Have a wonderful week. But until then, we're going to love you and leave you. And we'll see you all next week. Bye, guys.
Cheers, guys. See you next week.
You want to die tonight?
Jokes you tell sets the scene. I hang on every word lost in the screen. Your passion for fear is contagious enough. You make me believe in Marc's overblown roundups. You run podcasts or a movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. You run podcasts, horror movie review, unveiling facts and playing games too. Your words paint pictures of darkness and dread, leaving me grinning long after I fled. Thank you for taking us on this chilling ride, when nightmares roll free and comedy collide. With your podcast we laugh and cringe, but your content is so good we can't help but binge. You run podcasts. You run podcasts.
Fuck this shit, I'm out.